So one day
Yes,
suddenly
sure, right.
I woke up in the morning, and these Forbes, the guys at Forbes, they don't reveal when they'll be releasing the list. It's all
Okay.
suddenly you wake up and then you
Surprise for
find,
you as well, right?
yeah, surprise for everyone actually. So
Sure.
I woke up in the morning, just opened my LinkedIn, and I saw someone had tagged me
Mhm.
on that Forbes 30 under 30 list. I was like, ये कैसे हो गया? I was born in like slums of Mumbai, the real slums, the
Sure.
slums that you see in Dharavi and those
Right.
thing. So we had like what do you say, 8 by 9 square, 8 by 9, 8 feet by 9 feet room. That was our kitchen, bathroom,
Yeah.
bedroom, hall. You say
Right.
वही हमारा सब कुछ था. The only aspiration that we had during that time was to somehow kind of 10th standard complete कर लो, somehow complete 10th standard, and then go
Of course,
back to
yeah.
either like uh, selling vegetables or being a garage mechanic. I know so many people who basically make parents their scapegoat, right? If they
Right.
don't achieve something. Honestly, every parent, not my parents, not your parents, every parents,
Mhm.
they provide their kids with to the best of their capabilities.
Then you went on to speak at TEDx IIT Patna, right?
They saw me on Forbes, and
Mhm.
that's where they read about me, my story, and they felt that my story would basically inspire students. I shared the stage with Mr. Alak Pandey, the founder of Physics Wala.
Javed, I know this is like the beginning of the week. We are just it's Tuesday today, and we have so much to do this week. But you made the time out to do this, so I really appreciate it. Actually, I know how you have been busy. Like I see your timeline, and I know how busy you are. But thank you for doing this. Actually,
Thanks for having me, Sumit. It's a pleasure to be here, and as always, I really like giving back to the community from whatever little I've learned from the past experiences. So
Mhm.
it's definitely a pleasure to be here.
Thank you. And since you are mentioning the community, and I've been following you from such a long time, you have been a real advocate of the fact that people should learn to build in public, and you have been real example of how building in public can actually work, right? Because I follow a lot of people on Twitter, Instagram, and they always advocate about it, but the problem is that their work is not a proof of the fact that it's working or not. But I came across your profile, and you are like a perfect example of how building in public can actually work for you. So, what is this whole concept, and how it has helped you entirely, right?
Yeah, sure. So I'd like to give some insights onto it. As you rightly
Sure.
mentioned, it's good that a lot of people are advocating building in public, but then there's also a fact that your actions speak louder than your words, right? Or
Correct. Yeah.
you need to practice before you preach, basically.
Sure.
Right. So I'll explain what is building in public. So and why I
Mhm.
started building in public. So I recently started. It's been more like around 5 6 months. Before that, although I was
Mhm.
sharing a lot of stuff with the community, but then I was not actively involved. But then I saw a lot of people online, and these people are inspiration that actually kind of told me, ki, हाँ,
Mhm.
let's go ahead and share stuff that you have
Yeah.
been doing in life. So number one thing is when you're building in public, you hold yourself accountable. Number one, right?
Correct.
Number two, whatever strategies, whatever stuff, good or bad, uh, you
Mhm.
basically share it and bring it in front of the audience or the public, just to kind
Right.
of tell them that it's not rosy. There are goods also, there are bads also.
Yeah.
Some days will be good, some days will be bad. One moment will be
Yeah.
crying, and one moment will be laughing like anything. At times you have
Mhm.
like got mixed emotions because you apparently lost one client, but at the same time earned two more clients. So
Two
all
more
these
times.
all
Right.
these things are going to happen. Thirdly, I feel building in public, the way other people inspired me to start
Mhm.
something of my own. Similarly, I want to basically be that person who basically inspires, and moreover, I
Mhm.
share knowledge and whatever I've learned to
Right.
basically inspire people who are in a situation where I was almost a decade back, so that I can relate
Right.
to their lives, and since I can relate to their lives, especially people coming from a poor family background or lower middle class family,
Mhm.
they have their own set of challenges. You'll hardly find
Right.
any resources or material that is readily available
Sure.
to bring uplift these kind of folks who really want to do something. It's my
Mhm.
goal to is basically bring them out of their comfort zone, out of their nest, and I want to see them fly.
Right, right. Even when I started with my career, like I was somebody who was posting consistently on social media. So even though I did not get a perfect break in the industry, but since I was so regularly posting about it, people reached out to me, and that helped me bring out my personal portfolio, and then eventually getting into the industry. So yeah, I think building in public, it kind of brings in a public audit of your expertise, because when you are building in public, it's not you who is vouching for your services; it's the people that are surround you, people who know, right, that you have been always been delivering and so on. So I
Correct,
think that
correct.
helps a lot.
Absolutely. And it's not
Right.
only about the good things that you share. So when you expose your
Mhm.
weaknesses, when you expose your failures, that is
Right.
where people are able to relate to you more. Because it's not only about success or good things or positive things. It's everything.
Mhm.
This is life, right? Even if you pick up the
Exactly.
life of some of the richest people in the on this planet, whether it be
Mhm.
Mukesh Ambani or Bill Gates, they have their own set of problems. It's not that everything is positive or
Definitely.
everything good is good for them. So it's good to kind of social media is actually uh, set up the bar very high. People have unrealistic expectations. Even when they are scrolling
Yeah.
on Instagram, people see
Yeah.
their friends doing vacationing in Maldives and all, but then they don't see other
Yeah.
side of the picture. So when you build in public, you share
Mhm.
both the sides. You share everything transparently, and then
Correct.
if
Yeah.
someone wants to kind of uh, do something similar to what you want, what you are doing,
Mhm.
it gives them a holistic view as to what they are signing up for and how long or
Right.
how easy
Right.
or how hard the journey is going to be.
Right, right. And like you mentioned the other side, and the other problematic side, if I have to say, is that it's very difficult to fake between people who are actually building in public and people who are portraying that they are, or they have a successful business that they build, and they just showcase the positive side of it, that they're clubbing, they are enjoying the best of vacations, they
Right.
are having the best of food, but then I think it's very difficult for general audience to differentiate between those two kind of people. Right?
Absolutely.
And you have must have come across them as well, right?
Yeah, a lot of them, and it's very easy to spot it.
What makes it so easy to spot them, like, for you?
You just read their couple of posts,
Mhm.
maybe many a times they share some kind of revenue and then it doesn't match with what they had said before or doesn't match with the number of clients they are working with. So a
Yeah.
person who is smart enough will be able to make out very easily.
Right, right. And like I think you read about this recent scam where there was an investors pitch meetup, I guess, where a website portrayed that a lot of investors will be coming in, which
Yeah, I
included
read
people
that.
like Kunal Shah. So you like even and the people who participated in that weren't people who were not educated well, right? They were from a very good background, but even then they got into that scam. They bought tickets that were very expensive and so on. So I think big challenge is to differentiate between those two kind of categories, where one who is
Correct.
actually building something and others who are portraying that they are building.
Correct, correct. I mean, your ethics and principles are very important. If
Mhm.
you stick to your ethics and principles, no matter how much money a brand or an event is paying you as an influencer, you stick to your principles basically. Right. So over there,
Mhm.
it's sad to see so many known faces in the industry. They basically were into this position wherein they're supporting something that was not genuine or that was not
Ethically good.
yeah, ethically correct.
Correct, correct. And you mentioned about the background. So I did some digging, and the background that you come from. Like if I was in, just to give people a reference, so you literally like come from the actual slums, right? And what you have done in these past few years is something that is, if I talk from my general perspective, it's impossible to do. What you have converted over these particular years and what you have compounded to be, that is something that is impossible from a general perspective. But how was it growing up? Like how different was it? Because you were not privileged at all. What you have achieved right now is completely your hard work, right? So how what were the difficulties when you were growing up?
Sure. So firstly, it's not only me. There's a lot of
Yeah.
people around me who supported me in my journey, who have
Mhm.
played a very instrumental role. to bring me where I am today, basically. And this is just
Right.
the beginning of where I want to be,
Of
right?
course. Yeah.
Basically, I was born, as you mentioned, I was born in like slums of Mumbai, the real slums, the
Yeah.
slums that you see in Dharavi and those sort of
Right.
thing. So we had like what do you say, 8 by 9 square, 8 by 9, 8 feet by 9 feet room. That was our kitchen, bathroom,
Yeah.
bedroom, hall. You say
Right.
वही हमारा सब कुछ था, right? And
Right.
my parents, I was born to a very beautiful couple. My parents, my dad is a
Mhm.
carpenter and mom is a housewife. None of them went to school. I was the first person from my family to complete
Mhm.
even 10th standard. Right. Uh, so
Yeah.
the locality where I used to stay, uh, uh, over there, the only aspiration that we had during that time was to somehow kind of 10th standard complete kar lo, somehow complete 10th standard,
Mhm.
and then
Of
go
course.
back
Yeah.
to either like uh, selling vegetables or being a garage mechanic, or at the
That
max.
was the maximum that people thought of from
Yes, हमारा
there,
maximum,
right?
our maximum was call center. Call center में if you get a job of
Of course.
12,000 rupees a month, you are the king. That was
Right.
the
Right.
only aspiration that we all had. So we all used to have this plan, कि somehow let's complete 10th, 12th, and then
Mhm.
go about doing some kind of job and start supporting our family. Because the neighbors that you have, all of them,
Mhm.
even if someone over next to your house or in your locality is working at a call center, you
Mhm.
admire them like anything. Like I want to become like
Exactly.
this
Exactly.
person, this person, right?
Coming from a
So
small city, I can relate. Like they were the godmen. Like
yes,
they were the ones we looked up to, right? That is the max we
yeah,
can do, right?
yeah. Besides that, there was no one to guide us. In terms
Mhm.
of what do you say, upbringing also, we never had all those
Yes.
facilities or something. We just used
Yeah.
to, I just used to play like बचपन में marbles and all those games, and
Yeah.
I
Right.
still even after so many years, I still ensure that I spend at least a day in that locality. अभी भी मैं जाता हूँ वहाँ पे. I hang out
Mhm.
with my school friends, old friends.
Yeah.
Some of them are like auto rickshaw drivers or something, but that still gives me that joy, and it ensures that I never
Yeah.
forget my roots. Right.
Exactly.
So
Exactly. Even your timeline, it kind of reflects how you want to push those people, right? Do you want those people to come up and do better
absolutely,
things, have a better platform?
absolutely,
So I
absolutely.
think
So
you're quite vocal about that also.
yeah, I've been working with a lot of my friends, a lot of people in my people around me, friends, family.
Mhm.
Wherever I can contribute, I've been guiding people on the career front, or whether it be if someone wants to start a business, then I kind of tell
Right.
them how to go about it, or like whatever capacity I can. I just try and ensure that
Yeah.
my weekends are well spent over there, basically.
Yeah.
So this is my weekend
Right.
routine. My weekends are always blocked with either career counseling sessions or business plan
Mhm.
meetings, or if someone is facing some problem with anything. So it's just my way of giving back to the society.
And when you meet these people, do you like kind of audit that if they are that motivated that even like the road you chose what kind it's quite tough, right? It's tough in its own way. So everybody don't have that character, right? So like because those paths kind of break you every single day, right? So do you like when you go to mentor these people, do you look for certain characters that you want to mentor?
Yeah, so everyone aspires to be something, but then very few are willing to take that action. Right.
Yeah.
When I talk about action, number one step is taking that risk. So I started when my entire family was dependent on me
Mhm.
for the livelihood, and basically my dad's work was such that in 12 months he would be working for like 3 4 months, and next 8 months there would be no work, basically. So
Right. Right.
that was the situation we were in. So I just had 20,000 rupees in my bank account, and I decided I want to start my own company. So I went to my parents.
All right.
They didn't understand much, and they were like, "ठीक है,
Mhm.
if you think this is good for you, we'll support you." They never
Okay.
said no to anything, in spite of knowing all
Okay.
this. So I had a very well-paying job that I quit,
Mhm.
and I started
Okay.
this company. So initial days were very bad, but then at the same time, I told myself, yeah, not taking a risk is also a risk, right? That time I had
Right.
this slogan in my mind, कि अभी नहीं तो कभी नहीं. If I don't do this now,
Definitely.
I'll never do
Yeah.
कभी भी in my life. That was a slogan. Although
Mhm.
which is not true, मैं
Right.
कर सकता हूँ करना है तो, but then at that point
Mhm.
in time, this is something which I told myself. Right. So
Okay.
that's how it started. And the only thing, another thing that in my mind was, if it doesn't work, I can I can again find job. आई एम स्किल्ड इनफ
Correct. Yeah.
कि मैं जॉब तो कभी भी कर सकता हूँ लाइफ में, बट देन ये जो चांस है वो कभी नहीं मिलेगा. आई नेवर गेट दिस चांस, राइट?
Right.
सो दैट्स हाउ आई स्टार्टेड. सो दिस mentality or this way of thinking is, I think, missing.
Mhm.
Although people might have skill, people might have talent, but then the
Right.
daring or the that you require to take that first step
Right.
is something which I feel people are missing. And then once I tell them my story, it kind of gives them
Mhm.
the hope that, huh, matlab, if this guy can do. I know people who are super duper talented. I'm nowhere close to them in terms of the skill set or everything, but then they're not willing to
Yeah.
take that risk, not willing to quit that job, not willing to start something. In fact, you know that
Right.
there's a cushion, right? If it doesn't work, you can again go back to the job. No one
Mhm.
will tell you no, that cannot
Right.
come back to the job world. And in spite of knowing all these facts, if someone is not ready to take that risk, then it's a challenge. It's an intention problem.
Mhm.
Although you might tell that I want to do something in my life, but then under
Right.
say or internally you want to do that, but you don't want to put in that
Mhm.
necessary effort.
Right.
You don't want
Right.
to take the necessary action, and more importantly, you don't want to take that risk. You want extreme safety, which is not going to
Correct. Yeah.
give you results.
Yeah, and definitely your story inspires a lot of us. Like even if you post something that kind of motivates, right, the general audience that we see. And you mentioned like like your parents were kind of dependent on you, right? And they at least they were looking forward that you will be one who will taking care of them. But even then, you took this particular risk, right? And it's not easy when you know that even like the next meal is kind of dependent upon you, that if the family is being fed or not, and then taking the decision. What was your mindset exactly then? Because it's not an easy decision to take, especially when your parents are involved.
Correct, correct. So during that time, I think I just had a runway of 2 months. So 10. So my monthly
Mhm.
expenses were around like 10,000 rupees back then, right? And I was like, let's
Mhm.
see for 2 months how it goes, right? And if things
Mhm.
didn't work well, I might go ahead and ask for some money from my relatives, especially my uncle, who has been really helpful. So it might extend my runway. So I had that mindset in my program in my mind,
Mhm.
and I was like, okay, let's start. So coincidentally, I started getting projects. The 6 months were
Mhm.
difficult. Initially, 6 months were difficult, but then I was not in a situation wherein I started generating money.
Okay.
Now this was my not my first venture. I done
Mhm.
couple of companies in my college, basically, through which I paid
Okay.
my college fee and all those kind of things. So I had
Okay.
that knack. Even if you leave me on the streets with zero money, by the time I
Mhm.
come back home, I'll come up with come with something which is better than zero, basically. So
Right. Right.
even today also, if you take away everything from me, and if I were to start from zero, I know what not
Mhm.
to do and what to do, basically.
Right. And that is basically based on your experiences, right? Because you
Correct,
have done so many, like just that example of inventing a light bulb, where he said that it's like I know 9,999 ways to not make a bulb,
correct.
but I know
Absolutely,
one way to make the bulb. Exactly
absolutely,
that.
absolutely.
Exactly. And then there's this story that you shared on LinkedIn, which says you converted this 1,000 bucks that you had to around 4 lakh rupees by selling some kind of batteries. What was that exactly?
This happened like in third year of my engineering, right?
Yeah.
As going to the streets of Lamington Road. So
Mhm.
there's this famous electronics market in Mumbai called Lamington Road.
Yeah.
So I had gone there to buy some stuff with my friend. He wanted to buy something. I saw a
Mhm.
person selling power banks, right?
Right.
And he was basically selling it for I think 300 rupees, and on Amazon it was around 400 rupees. Right.
Yeah.
So I had 1,000 rupees in my pocket. I asked him if he can give me for like 1,000 rupees, thousand
Yeah.
4 pieces for 1,000 rupees. So I got
Mhm.
he readily agreed, and he gave me those 4 power banks and
Right.
for 1,000 rupees. Then while going home, I used to basically use this set called OLX. So there was another
Okay.
business that I used to do on OLX. I had actually written a
Mm-hmm.
program basically. So say for example, if you are a seller, okay,
Okay.
and you want to sell iPhone on OLX, so I written a program
Mm-hmm.
which basically alerts me the moment someone posts a deal on OLX. So say for example,
Right.
iPhone 13 costs you uh, 60,000, 70,000 right now, and someone has
Mm-hmm.
put iPhone 13 for sale for 50,000 rupees. If it's a good deal, it gets sold out very
Yeah.
quickly. So if you call that
Okay.
seller, he'll say, "Yeah, I just
Mm-hmm.
closed the deal with someone else. You are too late." Right.
Okay.
So I wrote a script
Okay.
that ensured that I would be the first one to basically
All right.
know
Mm-hmm.
about that product. The moment so I used to get an email and a notification. It was basically a plain Python script that I'd written, right? So
Okay.
so I had some product feeded in. So if it's a phone
Mm-hmm.
or if it's a laptop and something of that sort. Once you get that product, say for example, if you get a very cheap deal, again you buy that gadget and then again sell it in the secondary market,
Right.
keeping that margin basically, the arbitrage basically.
Mm-hmm.
So I did this
Yeah.
business. So similarly, I listed power bank on OLX, and by the time I reached home, all
Mm-hmm.
of them were sold out. I decided to kind of reinvest.
Same.
All
Yeah.
of them sold out, as in I got calls from different people, and then
Yeah.
the same day I returned home, I delivered all those power banks the same day,
All right.
right?
All right.
Then I kind of decided that uh, let's reinvest this money and get a
Mm-hmm.
power bank from a place that gives me power banks for less than 250 rupees, ideally around 200
Okay.
rupees. So I look for
Okay.
places wherein I can basically lower down my cost price. So I started
Costing, right.
from 200 rupees, 180 rupees, 160,
Mm-hmm.
150, and slowly I brought it down to 14 rupees. So I used to buy it for like 14 rupees and sell it for around 300, 350 rupees on OLX. And
Mm-hmm.
eventually, this I grew it to like 4 lakh rupees revenue. I had a network of people
Okay.
in different colleges. So in
All right.
Mumbai, there are like three lines: Central, Western, and Harbour.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
most of my friends used to study in different colleges. So on OLX, if you
Mm-hmm.
list a product, you don't know from where you will get the call, all right, and
Right.
you have to deliver that.
Right.
So to all the friends, I had given like 10, 15 power banks in their bag, and the moment I used to receive call
Mm-hmm.
from someone, I used to ask that person their location, and I used to map it to the nearest college जहाँ पे मेरा
Right.
friend
Right.
already
Right.
है, and then this guy used to deliver
Okay.
it to that person, and I used to give
Okay.
them commission. So that's the entire chain that I'd built.
Right.
By the end of third year, this product also started becoming common, and
Mm-hmm.
I realized like now it's time to become serious about my career because placements and all this.
Definitely. Yeah.
So I had to kind of put a pause. In fact, I shut that down. But it was a very good experience. The thing that I learned
Yeah.
out of this experience was, if you're curious about something, I was just
Mm-hmm.
curious that let's spend 1,000 rupees and see if this sells or not. So
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
was just itching my curiosity. So
Mm-hmm.
the thing that I learned out of this is, if you're curious about something, you should not shy away from experimenting. Just go ahead and experiment.
Definitely.
Blessed are the ones
Definitely.
who are curious, for they shall have adventures. So if you think something will work, just go ahead and experiment. Don't kind of
Exactly. Yeah.
wait for tight things. Don't overthink. Take calculated risk.
Right.
So that
Right.
was
And
that.
I
Yeah.
I think Kunal Shah mentioned this somewhere that right now what happened with this generation was that the curiosity part is completely missing. So like he mentioned an example where he was kind of taking a steam bath, and when he saw that the mirrors were fogging, he wanted to know why the mirrors were fogging actually. So he googled and so on. But
Yeah.
the problem with current generation is that they don't want to know why this is happening. They just want to hop into the next thing very fast without
Yeah.
without getting the idea that how this thing is working or not. I think your outcome is mostly around the hit and try, right? And of course
Yes.
the people that have surrounded you and help you always. Like you mentioned, even in right now where you are, a lot of people have kind of help you get there. So when it comes to building companies, it's kind of not a one person job, right? You need a team, and you often quote about your co-founders and how they have helped you. So what exactly do you look when you find a perfect match for your co-founder position and so on?
Sure. Sure. So
What do you
basically,
exactly look in people, I mean?
understood. Correct. So in that aspect, I am the luckiest person on the planet. Why I'm the luckiest person on the planet? Because today we are three co-founders. One of my
Yeah.
co-founder Uday is my school friend. We went to the same school and we know each other since last 22 years now. 22
Okay.
23 years, more than 2 decades. And another co-founder Mandar,
Right.
with whom I went to engineering college. So we have been building companies since we were students, basically in
Right.
college itself,
Yeah.
right? So we have learned things together. We have seen good days, bad days, especially me. So Uday and Mandar come from a financial. Uday is a bit in the middle. Mandar comes from a well-to-do family, so they never
Yeah.
had this burden or overhead
Financial
of
issue. Yeah.
supporting family and all. So they were very supportive in terms of me withdrawing
Right.
salaries or taking that extra project or something of that sort. Right. And whatever we have
Yeah.
learned, whatever we have achieved, whatever we have lost, everything we have experienced it together. So even after our
Right.
acquisition, we had a chance to basically do things on our own way. But we decided again we want to start something of our own. So again, it's the
Something.
same
Right.
team. It's the same founding team which is building, plan, and correct. And especially
Right.
in the ecosystem, I've seen founders waking up like, within a year of starting. There's a lot of expectation mismatch. More importantly, the trust
Right.
is missing.
Correct.
Many
Right.
a times, friend, two or more friends, they just start something, and then at the end, they realize that they're not complementing each other, or they have like
Right.
even if they complement each other, they don't take their each other's views in a positive manner. Then and it leads to fights and a lot of disagreements, wherein most of the energy goes in
Correct.
solving those disagreements, and your entire business building goes for a toss. So that's what I have seen. So most importantly, as I mentioned, trust is very important. Second is all these co-founders should complement each other, right?
Right.
Believe in each other. That if I'm
Right.
delegating this thing, or if this person is in charge of certain department, he'll basically do complete justice to it. Don't poke into each other's work, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, and more importantly, just enjoy the process of building this entire thing. That's
Building
more
a team.
important.
Right. Right, right.
Right.
I'll say you have been very lucky because normally there is a saying that don't work with people you already know, right? Because there is always a risk that you cannot directly say it, come out and
You
say to them,
Yeah, you lose the
be
company
brutal
also,
to
you
them.
lose a friend also.
Exactly, exactly. And even the thing about complimenting, even in like in the place where I work, when we hire somebody, we look for personalities that are going to do something that is different from what we are already doing. So that will be a good addition, and of course, is a team player, definitely, right?
Correct.
And
Absolutely.
you have kind of worked with, like, you have studied with them during their school days, and then you moved to the college. So did you get the opportunity to go to one of those prestigious colleges, or is what it was like whatever you got, the college that you got, you took that?
Okay, so I completed my engineering from KG Samay College of Engineering. It's an
Okay.
autonomous engineering college
Hmm.
here in Mumbai. So when you talk about prestigious colleges, of course, it's IITs and IITs, right? So I got to know about
Definitely.
IIT just sometime before the exams, the JEE exams,
Okay.
right? So everyone
Hmm.
around me was filling up the form, so I thought, okay, I'll also fill up the form because it was super cool,
Yeah.
right? Just that
Right. Right.
I was a bit amateur or naive, whatever you say. I thought just by filling up the form and then randomly writing answers, I'll clear that. I was so
Right.
amateur. But then when the results came, I don't even remember my results, but I performed very, very,
Yeah.
very poorly. Of course, if you have not put in that hard work, if you don't know
Right.
anything about that, people have been. Then I got to know that people prepare it for like 3 years, 4 years,
Year and a half.
and that is
Right.
their
Yeah.
that is their dream. But then I was not aware
Yeah.
of all these things. No one told me okay, something like IIT
Exactly. Yeah. And
exists.
even the surrounding that we grow up in, it kind of does not have people who are already done that, or they have experienced that how to
Yeah,
go about these
yeah,
colleges and
yeah,
things.
yeah, yeah. So there is another incident. So I mean, I had one person, basically my neighbor, who's just like an elder brother.
Mhm.
So he had someone who had cracked. He knew someone who had cracked IIT. He just took
Mhm.
me to his place, and I saw those bad books, and he just gave me few books from Tata
Right.
McGraw-Hill and everything, and each book was like this thick, right?
All
So
right.
I
Yeah.
didn't know where to start from. I just came home and I started feeling dizzy. Okay, where do I
Yeah.
start from?
Exactly.
There were just three books: mathematics,
Mhm.
physics, and chemistry. So although I was like, what do you say? Although I had actually filled the form, and then since I
Mhm.
had filled the form, I was like, okay, let's understand at least for a week or two. I was
Right.
pretending to study, but honestly, nothing was going inside my brain, right? And then when the results came,
Right.
as
Right.
I told you, that I failed badly, of course, and
Mhm.
it was the best thing that happened to me.
Yeah, right.
Right.
And like, no matter what college you went to, then you went on to speak at TEDx IIT Patna, right? How was that experience? How did the invitation roll in? Like, I am not sure how that worked. Like,
Sure. So basically, I just received an email from
Mhm.
TEDx IIT Patna, like inviting me to speak at that event. I shared the stage with Mr. Alak Pandey, the founder of Physics Wala, and
Physics wala, right?
there are some amazing speakers as well. So at first, I
All
was
right.
not able to believe. I was like, why would they invite me to
Right.
IIT? I never went to IIT. I didn't do anything. Apparently, then I
Right.
asked them. They like they noticed my profile and they studied about. I think they saw me on Forbes, and
Mhm.
that's where they read about me, my story, and they felt that my story would basically inspire students. When
Okay.
I went there, the response was amazing. Crowd was
Okay.
very energetic, and
Right. Yeah.
when I just started my talk, not even a single person
Mhm.
moved from this place to that place. So much of attention and engagement I was able
That
to kind of
the audience
yeah,
had, right? Yeah.
yeah, because I think it's a story that works, number one.
Mhm.
But at the same time, the story has to be real. If it's something which is an art of
Yeah.
fiction, then people are
Sure.
not able to relate to. So my only idea was that just go out and share whatever experiences I had in my life, and
Mhm.
then let people take away from it whatever they want and whatever they
Right.
feel that is right for them. So the response was good.
Mhm.
Like there were some amazing folks at IIT. Honestly, it felt surreal to be at IITs,
Mhm.
not as a student, but as a speaker at a TEDx event. It's a different feeling altogether.
Right. I saw that speech, and it was like the crowd was kind of completely engaged in what was being delivered. And like right now, what I see is, of course, like even though a lot of people around me, they have got the proper education, they always complain about the fact that their parents were not able to send them to a elite college, or somewhere their career could be packaged, like just complete a college, you'll get the placement, and so on. So there are a lot of people around me who just keep complaining about that. Of course, actions, they don't have the discipline and the action that they will make it on their own. So they just complain it and just put it on their parents, that it is because of their parents that they are not able to do well. So I think, like, as per me, I think if you have, like, even completed your 10th or 12th standard, I think your parents have gave you that platform where after that whatever you do is up to you. You can be anything post that, right? I Do you think that even like basic having the basic qualification even works if you want to do great in terms of anything in business and professional life, or maybe you're doing a job or
Sure. So I know so many people who basically
something?
make parents their scapegoat, right? If they
Right.
don't achieve something. Honestly, every parent, not my parents, not your parents, every parents,
Mhm.
they provide their kids with to the best of their capabilities, whatever, even if
Right.
it's rich, poor, whoever it is. So
Mhm.
same goes with my parents. Whatever they could, they did it for me, right? And
Right.
ensured they ensured that they make me capable enough to take my own decisions. So
Mhm.
by the time I reached 10th standard, I had this mindset wherein I didn't know I will become an entrepreneur or something. Although
Yeah.
I had this thing in my mind since my school days, right?
Mhm.
But then over there, the decision was to go for science, commerce, or arts. So I had this decision making thing, or a
Mhm.
moment where I had to decide that I should go for commerce or science. Arts was something.
Right.
One of my uncles suggested that you go for commerce. Number one,
Okay.
it's less expensive. You do
Mhm.
plain BCom.
Definitely. Yeah.
it's less expensive, and then you can become a CA. Again, it's not an expensive course. But then my
Yeah.
mind was not inclined towards commerce. I
Commerce,
kind of
right.
requested my uncle and my dad that मेरा जो मन है वो साइंस में लगता है. I used to find physics problems very fascinating.
Yeah.
Physics, chemistry, maths, and all. So that's how I opted
Mm-hmm.
for science. Now I completed 11, 12. Then again, I had to decide whether I want to become an engineer or a doctor or something of that sort. Now,
Mm-hmm.
why I chose computer engineering, again, that's just another story. But just to
Okay.
answer your question, uh, yeah, I mean, see, whatever we have studied has got very less
Mm-hmm.
relevance with what you are doing right now. In
Right.
fact, my younger brother, I completed my engineering, but I told my younger brother not
Mm-hmm.
to pursue engineering, but just complete plain
Okay.
BSc. Okay. My younger brother Junaid, who is running Bubble Wrap right now, and then
Yeah.
worked closely with me right from the 12th standard. So he works.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he's been working with me. He worked with me at Custard for about 3 years.
Okay.
He learned everything, the entire trade, right from the delivery, the sales, the marketing,
Mm-hmm.
everything is learned. And now
Yeah.
he's running his own stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
just to answer your question, degrees are definitely important, but it's not the only thing.
Only that way, right.
Anything you do in life, it's a practical approach, or it's the hands-on approach
Mm-hmm.
that will actually make a difference and help you achieve things in your life.
Right, right, right. And you mentioned like when you went for the TEDx, they discovered you from the Forbes 30 under 30. Right? So I firstly that is again a big thing. But how did it all started? Like what? How did you know that the thing that you're working on had that potential to go that big, or you had no idea that it will go that big?
Okay, so basically this happened when I was a chief product officer at e-bike, the company that had acquired my previous company basically,
Okay.
and we were building operating system for electric vehicles. So the space was is still very fascinating.
Yeah.
Basically, working and building products to save the environment, that itself is a bigger
Mm-hmm.
problem to solve, right? So
Right.
right from carbon offset, carbon credits, gamification,
Mm-hmm.
the entire OS to run the fleet of electric vehicles. A lot of exciting
Right.
problems me and my team were solving at eBiko. That's when
Mm-hmm.
someone I don't know discovered me, and I got a call from Forbes India first. I couldn't make it
Okay.
to Forbes 30 under 30 in India, but then
Okay.
they featured me on their special mentions list. Basically,
Yeah.
it is for people who just miss the list basically. Right. And then
Mm-hmm.
after a few months, Forbes Asia discovered, and they featured me in Forbes 30 under 30 Asia. That was like a proper
Okay.
feature under consumer technology category. So over
Mm-hmm.
there also, the journalists they had reached out to me. They asked me certain
Mm-hmm.
questions, but then I had never anticipated that because if I missed Forbes India, then
Yeah.
definitely I thought that I would not be able to make it to Forbes Asia. So one day
Yes.
suddenly
Yeah. Right.
I woke up in the morning, and these Forbes are the guys at Forbes. They don't reveal when they'll be releasing the list. It's all
Okay.
suddenly you wake up and then we
Surprise for
find,
you as well, right?
yeah, surprise for everyone actually. So
Yeah.
I woke up in the morning, just opened my LinkedIn, and I saw someone had tagged me
Mm-hmm.
on that Forbes 30 under 30 list. I was like, ये कैसे हो गया?
Okay.
And that's when I got to know
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
I was on the Forbes 30 under 30 list. And yeah, the excitement lasted for a day, and then from next day onwards, again the
Mhm.
life is same.
Yeah, yeah. So when you started with this product, did you had that confidence that it is going to go big, or it was again, that curiosity under you in you, and the fact that just go and do another hit and try.
No, basically, since the company acquired us, it
Mhm.
was the company's vision. I was not on the driving
Okay.
seat. I was responsible for
Okay.
execution, basically. Right. So
Mhm.
it was a business requirement that we have to build tools and technologies, essentially a OS for
Okay.
B2B businesses, for fleet
Mhm.
management and the rest of the other utilities on top of it. So I was more
Okay.
or responsible, of course, the product me and my team were taking care of, me along with my other
Mhm.
two co-founders. But then when it comes to vision, it was not my vision. I was just basically executing
Part of.
things to the
Yeah.
best of my capabilities.
Okay. Okay. And so even then, like, did you had anything in mind, like how, like you already had a formula in mind that this would work and this would not?
Yeah.
Were you
So
that seasoned until then?
absolutely. So that you get that gut feeling. So the problem definition
Mhm.
was very exciting, and I had this thing in my mind that if we are successfully able to crack this, then this is going to be a game changer for the entire EV industry, right? And this itself
Right.
is a enough motivation for you to basically
Mhm.
put your complete focus into it and put in your like heart and souls into it. So that itself was enough
Exactly.
motivation for me.
Yeah, yeah. And do you think that successful companies like what like the PayPal mafia, right? They know the
Yeah.
art of building successful company. So do you think it's a skill like anything, any other skills that we have in the market? So once you know how to build a successful company, it's a higher probability that you will the next company that you build kind of will be in that domain, right? Success domain.
Correct, correct. It's essentially a culture that you have around you. So as they say, you are
Mhm.
the average of top five people with whom you hang out the
Right.
most, right? So
Correct. Yeah.
even if someone is talented, has got that right mindset, but if you don't have
Mhm.
that environment, if you don't surround yourself with right set of people, you're not going
Yeah.
to have that knowledge exchange, the vibe exchange, the energies exchange, right? So when you give an
Mhm.
example of PayPal, even in India we have Flipkart mafias, right? So
Yeah.
essentially, these are the people who are best in their industry, and then they kind of
Mhm.
learn, exchange knowledge, exchange
Yeah.
techniques with each other, and grow together basically. So I think
Right.
surrounding yourself with right set of people and the
Mhm.
environment you operate in is very very important. Right.
Right.
That's why you would
Right.
see a lot of startups coming out of Bangalore and not from Delhi and
Mhm.
Mumbai. Of course, Delhi and Mumbai are not lagging, but then
Yeah.
it's a Bangalore that's a hub, right? Especially if you talk about
Huh,
India,
right.
and if you talk about the globe, it's Silicon Valley. That is where the maximum action
Right.
happens.
Mhm. And
It's
I
not
think your brother Junaid is the perfect example, right? So he has kind of seasoned under you. He has seen you work, how you approach things, and so on. Right now, his company is also doing good in terms of revenue figure, right? And you posted about it, the revenues they are making. So, do you think that it's because he got into it and had the opportunity to watch you closely? That is why it's working for him as well, or it's personal skills that he has acquired, from his own knowledge and
absolutely he has got those skills, but then he has seen me right from the beginning. He's my real brother.
right.
We stay in the same house, right? So he has seen my struggles. Yes. So at home also he has seen me, and while I'm at office, since he was a part of the
Yeah.
company, so he has seen me and my colleagues how we navigate through the problems. Even if a
Right.
random
Right.
meeting is going on in the office, we would just jump into the meeting in between and stay silent, but
Fix
then
your things.
listen to what's going on, and whenever he
Right.
thinks he can contribute, we'll just go ahead and contribute. So right now, if you look at him, I think I would say it's a combination of skills and whatever
Mhm.
surrounding or the exposure that he got in his early days when he was
Right.
barely 16, 17. And since then,
Mhm.
he has been into this ecosystem, building things, and now he is at such a stage. He does a lot of things way better than me. Right.
Mhm.
I just go to him for advice. Hey, Junaid, I'm solving this problem. How do I go about
Okay.
this entire thing? So
Mhm.
it's a proud moment for me as a brother that
Right.
this guy has reached this level, and now there's no looking
Mhm.
back basically from here.
Right. Right. Reminds me of Kaman's brothers actually. So Zeroda, I think they kind of made they are where the entrepreneurs of the year, right? I think this was just announced, and they kind of have a similar personality where they both are opposite of each other, but they complement each other very well. I
Absolutely,
think that is major reason for their success again.
absolutely.
So, in this industry, like, what is the most challenging thing that you came across, like when you were building this company or any previous company? Where was funding a bigger challenge, or coming up with a product was a bigger challenge?
Funding is never a challenge, and I've been a big advocate of bootstrapping.
Yeah,
Might change. I don't know. I might go for VC funding in the near
Mhm.
future,
Yeah,
right? But then, as we speak, I always believe in. I built business from zero, right? Not even $1 spent anywhere. All I had was just a laptop and the right mindset, right?
yeah.
The most challenging thing I would say, especially in our industry, is the speed at which things change. Number one, you have to cope up with the speed.
Yeah.
Second is you need to have a solid differentiator. When I say
Mhm.
differentiator, whether it be a product or whether it be a service, the competition is intense, which is good actually because it takes the entire ecosystem forward at a
Right.
very
Yeah.
fast pace, right? So competition is always good. It keeps you up to your toes. It sets certain
Mhm.
benchmark in the industry. I think money is not a problem. I've never seen money as a problem
Mhm.
unless you're like solving wrong problem. If you're working on the right set of things, right set of problems,
Mhm.
either you will attract money or your business itself will generate enough money so as to
Yeah.
keep the
Right.
ball rolling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And like late going forward and selling your company, right? So I was reading this article where Kunal Shah, when he sold free charge, he mentioned that it's like, giving away your baby to someone. So how was that experience, like selling your company, getting acquired by someone else?
Honestly, I can't define it in words. I mean, at one
Mhm.
point in time, you feel very sad about basically selling off the
Right,
company that you had built from zero, day in day out. You breathe the same thing,
right,
custard, and
right.
one day suddenly it's not going to be yours. But at the
Your
same time,
company.
there's another feeling that whatever you are
Mhm.
building, people are recognizing this. It has got immense value
Right.
to it, and that's the reason
Mhm.
another company wants to buy it, right? So you
Yeah.
are successful in creating that value. You're successful in building that
Mhm.
company. So if you ask me, it's a mixed feeling. Can't be defined in words.
Right.
But yeah,
Yeah.
definitely it's an experience that one should definitely go through once in a life.
Right, right. And do you think like after certain point of time, it's also a good thing that if the product is right, if everything is correct about the product, it should be handed over to right people, people who can do justice to the overall product that you have.
Yes, the day you feel you yourself are a blocker towards the growth of your
Mhm.
company, you should simply move out. Maybe bring in the right set of
Right.
people or hand over your business to people who are more capable of running it, basically, than you and your
Mhm.
own team. Definitely, I agree with this.
Right, right. And so Javed, so what is the next thing that we expect? Like what is your next thing that you're working on right now?
So currently, I'm building two companies, Plan and Correct.
Mhm.
So Plan, we are launching Plan V 2.0 next month.
Okay.
Essentially,
Mhm.
it's transforming into a vetted marketplace now, vetted talent marketplace.
Okay.
I've been running this
Mhm.
business in a very asset-led fashion. We are just
Mhm.
4 or 5 people and about to touch around 400 to 500K of revenue since we started.
All right.
Right,
Great. Yeah.
with just 4 or 5 people. So if you look at
Okay.
revenue per employee, it's 100K right from below.
Right. Right. Yeah.
That kind of thing. Simultaneously, we are also building Correct, which is part of Coco's product arm. So
Mhm.
essentially, our parent company is Coco Technologies, and then we have two companies,
Okay.
Plan and Correct under it. So every year we're going to be building SaaS and microservices. So Correct is one of them.
Mhm.
You can expect another one, which is work in progress right now, to be probably
Right.
launched next year. This time we want to take our sweet
Mhm.
time and build this. So too early to comment
Yeah.
on that. But then on the client side, yes, a lot of
All right.
action happening, and you'll see a lot of posts coming in from my side in the coming weeks.
Yeah. Yeah. And how do you manage this? Like you are already yeah, right now working on two products, right? And then you also are active on social media because you are advocate of building it in public also. So how do you manage yourself? How do you manage your time in that regard?
Yeah, that's a challenge actually. So in fact, I have not been
Mhm.
consistent in posting also. It's been like
Yeah.
more than 3 or 4 weeks since I haven't posted anything
Mhm.
significant on LinkedIn, more like a value or
Right.
a value bomb. So finding time is very crucial. So usually what I
Mhm.
do, I divide my day into two parts. The first half is
Right.
reserved for deep work, wherein my
Mhm.
time goes in thinking, strategizing, looking at the bigger picture. And second half of the
Mhm.
day goes into executing those things, talking to the
Okay.
team, communicating, and meeting people. So that's how, at a high level, I basically divide my day.
All right, all right. So I think yeah, that would be it. I think all the best for the future ventures, right? I will be looking forward like
Thanks
what
so
you're
much.
posting and
Thanks,
how you're
thanks so much,
approaching the
and
thing.
keep supporting. I hope
Definitely, yeah.
you are finding enough value from what I'm posting
Yeah, I do.
on the
Like
audience.
I was completely amazed when I came across your profile that what you have achieved and what you're currently even right now you're pursuing new things, right? Even though you have hit a certain milestone that everybody wants to hit at certain point of time, but again, still you are pursuing that road, even though so much has happened with your news. So all the best for your future ventures.
Thanks so much, man. Thanks so much. Means a lot.
Hope you had a good time. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah.